What's up guys? So on this particular video we'll be discussing about Leh Ladakh in the month of September 2025. What you should be expecting in terms of the weather, the road condition, the best routing that is possible in the month of July, the overall tourist crowd that you can expect over there, the places that you should be visiting. Will the roads to Umlingla and other remote places be open in September? What do you need to be packing? And the final part would be what is the budget that you need to keep in mind for Leh Ladakh in the month of September. So now starting off with this video, you need to understand that the month of September is a transition month in Leh Ladakh. It's the end of summer and the beginning of, I would say, autumn in Ladakh. So it's kind of pre-winter feels that you will get in Ladakh. But again, this is subjective to when you're going. The first, I would say, 10 to 15 days in the month of September will be warm, while the latter half would be much cooler. So if you're someone who's traveling in the mid of September, you'll find a drastic change from when you arrive in Leh to when you're leaving Leh. Now, which time is better for you to go? For that, you'll need to watch this video and decide for yourself, because it's you know your body better and you know what kind of a vibe you prefer. Now starting off with the weather, the daytime temperature will range from anywhere between just 10 degrees to 25 degrees in the first half, while in the second half of September the temperature in the daytime will range from anywhere between 7 degrees to 15 degrees. So there's a change in around 5 to 6 degrees. It might not feel a lot when you're sitting in your house and planning your trip, but when you actually go there, it's a massive difference. The night temperature, that's basically after sunset, the temperature in the first half of September will range from anywhere between 7 degrees to 12 degrees, while in the second half it will be anywhere between 0 to 7 degrees. So it's going to be a massive difference in the night. And keep in mind, it's going to get really windy when you're in Ladakh in the second half. The wind is what really changes the entire vibe and makes it really cold. So for all those who are not okay with windy cold weather, then the first half is a more ideal time to be going there. Now, why you should be going to Ladakh in the month of September? It's because it's less crowded as compared to the month of July and August, and at the same time it is pre-monsoon, it's post-monsoon, sorry. So when you're traveling and if you're considering coming by a road from Delhi to Leh, there's a higher chance of you getting to Leh without any drama in Himachal in terms of landslides or roadblocks, because even the monsoon in Himachal will start to retreat. It's overall the road conditions should be fast, I would say smoother as compared to what you would expect it in the month of July and August, which is the peak monsoon months. If you're coming via Srinagar, again, it might rain here and there, but it's not really going to create any kind of disturbance for you. When it comes to the flight costing, the month of September is again when the flights are not going to be really costly. You can get a round trip from Delhi for anywhere between, I would say, 8,000 to roughly 14,000, depending on how early or late you book and what kind of a deal you get. So this is the costing for a round trip. Now, road accessibility, like I mentioned earlier, the Manali-Leh highway will 99.9% be open. It's very unlikely that the road will shut because of snowfall in the month of September. The reason being, seasons have changed drastically. So what used to happen a few years ago in September is now happening in November. So by default, you can expect the road to be open for all the days of the month in September. So you do not need to worry about the Manali-Leh highway in September. The Srinagar-Leh highway by default will be open, so do not worry about that either. Now when it comes to what you need to be packing, pack layers of clothing, pack your t-shirts, pack your long sleeves t-shirts, pack a few shirts, and by default pack jackets. Now for most people, a couple of jackets should be more than enough. Do not carry more than 2 jackets, because then your bag is going to be really heavy. If you feel the need, you can always buy one in Leh. And honestly speaking, the lighter weight jacket you carry, the better it is, because by default your weight on your backpack or your luggage, whatever you're carrying, is going to be limited when you're traveling by flight. And if you're not traveling by flight, you'll have to carry the bag yourself, and that's going to be a bigger headache. UV protected sunglasses are mandatory when you're traveling to Leh Ladakh in September, all the more. By default, carry a face mask for September, because it's the month when pollen seeds will start floating around in the air, and that's going to be a real problem, especially when you're walking around Leh and Hundar. These are the two places that you will find them all over, and there's always a chance of them getting stuck in your throat and causing a real irritation. Lip balm is important because the dry weather is actually going to really hurt you in the month of September. Whatever kind of medication that you have and you feel personal meds you need to carry, you should be taking them along, because it's easier to get your meds at home as compared to going to Leh and getting them. Even though Leh has plenty of medical shops, they might not have the exact meds that you want, so better carry it from home. Now, when it comes to altitude sickness in the month of September, there's a very high chance of altitude sickness because of the temperature and the altitude. The temperature fluctuation is the main reason why you can fall prey to altitude sickness. So if you start feeling any kind of symptoms of altitude sickness, then it's by default just get to the nearest hospital or health center where they can do a proper checkup and evaluate and tell you what you should do best. And once they give you a synopsis of what you should be doing, please listen to them, because they are the experts and they know the condition and they have studied and are well versed with this. So you do not want to really risk your life and put the lives of all your other co-travelers in danger. Now, when it comes to the places that you should visit, everything in Ladakh is open in the month of September. So whether you're wandering out in Nubra Valley and planning on going all the way to Turtuk, that's possible. If you want to go to Hanle, Somoriri, Umlingla, all that is also possible without any issues. Even going all the way to Padum in Zanskar, that's possible via the Manali route or via Kargil, depending on how you want to go there. The roads are open, so you do not need to worry about it. Just remember that when you're traveling in and around Leh Ladakh, your only postpaid SIM cards from around the city, around the country work. Prepaid SIM cards will not work the minute you land in Leh. So if you are a prepaid user and you do not have any other option, you have two options rather. One is you convert your prepaid SIM into postpaid, or you land in Leh and you get a local prepaid SIM. But a local prepaid SIM will help you with network. Your UPI and your online payments will not work because that's linked to your personal SIM card, which is deactivated because you're in a no network zone. Now, when it comes to carrying cash, there are plenty of ATMs in Leh, but it's always advisable to withdraw at least 10-20,000 from your home city and come, so you do not have the fiasco of running to one ATM to another in case there's a cash out because of the tourist rush. Now, remember that the places that you should definitely visit in the month of September are by default Leh Town, Nubra Valley, and you should also go to Hanle and Somoriri if the budget permits. Remember that Hanle has network, but Somoriri doesn't have network. Camping at Somoriri is the only way to stay there, and since there's no network, you'll have to make the payments in cash. Now, the budget that you need for Leh Ladakh trip in the month of September depends entirely on the kind of trip you're planning and the number of people. So if you're planning a luxury trip, your budget can range from anywhere between 50,000 to 1 lakh. That's your surface travel. And this budget again depends entirely on the kind of accommodation you are going for, because accommodation is where you blast the most amount of money. The month of September is also a very, very good time for all those who are planning on going biking. It's actually an ideal time to be going there because the roads and the weather are extremely stable. So if you have pushed back your date because of the floods that you have seen in Himachal, and you're still wanting to do Leh Ladakh in the month of in this year, then go and plan your trip for the month of September. Now, for all those who are planning a solo trip or a couple trip or a small group trip and are confused about how to go about a trip to Leh Ladakh, remember we do have trips to Leh Ladakh. We have both private trips and group trips. You can opt for whichever you want. Group trips you can enroll solo with a few friends, up to you. Our group trips take anywhere between 5 to 12 people, and you'll find all the information about it in the description, which will take you to our website where you'll get all the complete details about our trips. Now, all our trips are backpacker trips, which are really basic in terms of accommodation. You will get hotels in Leh and homestays all around the journey. The reason for this is because we want to blend in the local experience, because when you're traveling so far into the Himalayas, it is better to have a local experience as compared to having a more commercial experience. So if you're interested, you can directly WhatsApp us or book from our website. Now, if you have any queries about Leh Ladakh, you can leave a comment in the comment section and we'll be happy to help. Till our next video, stay